Morning, morning, everybody. Michelle is here. I'm up and at it this morning, doing my normal routines, doing some inspection around the house to make sure everything is in good condition, which it is. Everything is in good condition here, and at some point, I'm gonna go ahead and once the kitchen is done, I want to do some minor things in there. I'm gonna go ahead and call the realtor. Come on, tell her to come on out, take some pictures, put this baby on the market. But yeah, I do. What I usually, every day I do some type of walk and meditation. Usually outside, but I also do it inside. I think I told you I always inspect things to see if there is any unusual cracks, suspicious this, suspicious that, and that's just what I do on a daily basis to keep me in touch with my environment and to make sure everything is going as I had planned it to. And everything looks fine. Everything looks perfectly, actually. But I just want to say to those of you out there, you know, I talk about experiences a lot, and I do. I mean, there's a lot of people that are going to be devastated. I can sense that. And a lot of people are just going to be more so overwhelmed than that is intentional. There is an intentional overwhelm, like I said, with the social media platform and social media atmosphere, where everybody's grabbing for our attention, and usually they just because they want to sell us something, they want us to believe something, they want us to buy something. Okay, they want us to support something, you know. So everybody's doing that, grabbing for our attention, and the internet and cell phones have been able to do that in a massive scale that no one really realized what was happening until it started happening. So at the same time, the internet offered me fantastic opportunities to learn and self-educate myself. Because I can remember, I think I said it in one of the videos, I used to always dream about when I was a younger girl, always coming to the end of the road or something, end of the road or something, end of the road or something. And it never made sense to me why that was happening all the time. It's like it seemed like I see a horizon or something. As soon as I go towards it, it's like that's the end of it. And that puzzled me for years. And I used to always have dreams about grocery stores as well. When I was a little girl, that frustrated me as well. It's like, well, why am I keep dreaming about grocery stores? And so like I said, what I understood about the end of the road is that I needed to take a different path. That's all. In other words, um, apparently there's a certain level of awareness inside of all of us where uh, there's a certain presence that knows what is going to be happening to us, and to you, to us. It's like I guess it's like something deep within all of us that's kind of paying attention to things that we're not paying attention to, and kind of have a foresight in some way of what can be expected in the life. Okay, predestined. You take it as you feel comfortable in taking it. I do believe that there is and I'm saying believe because I have no way to know that there is a predestined uh, situation in certain aspects of your life, but yet you still are control of making it a destiny, right? There's maybe something that's like prophecies. Prophecies are like warnings per se, but I'm just using prophecies as an example. It says, hey, if you take this path, this is what's going to happen. But if you take that path, this is what's going to happen. Blah 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 blah. So we all, I think, are born with that. Where there's like a certain amount of information that's within all of us because we do reincarnate. That's why. Okay, that says, hey, if you do this, this will happen. If you do that, this will happen. But you take the wheel of that, and you just determine where you're going, and you choose the path. In other words, these are the paths that could happen if you do this or that and the other, but you ultimately take the path. And so that's what my dreams were. It was like, okay, it was just telling me you need to take a different path. That's all. And I did. I started to. And that's when I started meditating and started doing this kind of internal stuff because I was failing otherwise. I was still failing per se, but I was a little bit more in control of my failures when I started meditating, and carrying on. My favorite word. So a lot of us, unfortunately, we're unconscious or are unconscious. I should say, and just kind of uh, charging along, like soldiers, and just not really paying attention to where we're going, what we're stepping on in the process of where we're going, how we're crumbling stuff and damaging stuff, leaving behind damage and garbage and so forth for other people to clean up. Right? So that's why I said leave wherever you are, leave it in a better condition than when you found it. And that's where I'm coming to with the house. When I came to this house was needless to say, is exactly what I needed. How about that? It was a fixer upper and it had a lot of challenging things, but the foundation was solid, meaning the house itself, the structure of the house was solid. Inside, of course, there were some problems inside. And then when I later found out from the neighbors, which I didn't find out until I think earlier this year, this used to be a drug house. And apparently they did some home invasion. I mean, not home invasions, but, well, the police officers, put it this way, did home invasions. How about that? Some, I guess, undercover or they got some informant information, I'm sure, from someone in the neighborhood. I can almost point out who they were. And snitching, which is fine. Hey, look, everything depends on what you need, what you will put up with, and what you will not put up with in your neighborhood. So, everyone has to make that decision. But yeah, this house was apparently a house where they bought and sold drugs. Not to mention they had dog fighting in the backyard, apparently. Because I do remember when I was cleaning up back there, had to remove dead trees and stuff. I did see animal bones. So apparently, they were having dog fights here, selling drugs in and out of the house. And then the police came in and did a home invasion. So, in other words, so there was remnant, and then apparently when the last tenants moved out, because this was just like a rental house, they destroyed the place. And so that's when the landlord decided, okay, he wants to get out of it. He doesn't want to be in the business of, at least renting out this particular property. So when it came in, I can tell it had some situations going on. But hey, I felt like it was even though you come into a situation that's uncertain, you can still make it. You can still make it a paradise. If you apply the right principles and you have the right intentions. So everyone thought when I was fixing on this house and all that, they thought I was doing it to resell it. No, and I kept telling people, no, this is my retirement house. This is where I plan to retire, because of the fact of the history of this house. And so the history will always, there's always histories with every house when you are, whether you go into a new one based on, there's just history with every home. Just keep that in mind. And remnants of others' energy in the house and blah, blah, blah. So I saged the house, and I did everything I can to kind of neutralize the energy that was in here. And I basically lived in here in peace. Okay, there was no necessary stuff going on that was affecting my situation. But I later realized that this was not a retirement house. As I said, this is a recovery house. This house was for me to recover from the toxic environment I came out of, and it worked. It gave me something to do. It made me be more focused and more observant of my reality. It brought my psyche into, my psyche is neutralized. People call their soul. A lot of people say soul, SOUL, but it's the same as psyche. You can use either or. It's all about intentions, not worrying about the definitions. It's all about the behavior and the actions, not worrying about the definitions. But anyway, so this turned out to be a recovery house for me. It was somewhere where I can get my hands dirty, learn how to increase my skills and abilities, have some injuries. Like I said, I broke one of my fingers here on my left hand, my pinky. I kind of broke that somehow. I don't remember. I injured both of my shoulders were injured. This my right one is still, it still hurts when I kind of lift and do things a certain way. I injured my hands, you know, so, and I got a lot of injuries. But at the same time, I built up a lot of skills and abilities. I built up resilience. I built up courage. I built up strength. Okay. And so you need that. I dealt with the death of my parents by going out in nature. And that's how I accepted, okay, what the fundamental purpose of life is to live, to be living, to be loving, to be in action. Okay. And, being always in an action and a movement. And, I planted trees. I planted so many trees. A lot of them did not live, a lot of, some of, it was just a great and sometimes frustrating journey. All right. So, it just taught me so much about being and then how I got so focused on, because of my powerful visualization, my meditation, it got me grounded. Okay. And then I realized what my reality is. Okay. Even though people can manipulate you all day long, I can be manipulated again and again and again, just like everyone else, but I know how to recover from it and bring myself back to reality when I get caught up in stuff. Because, yes, we all can be manipulated. Okay. We all can be deceived, lied to, and this and that and the other. But it's our responsibility to unravel that and know what is reality. What does reality mean to me? What does reality mean to you? And we all each have to decide. It's not the internet. That's all I'm saying. Okay, it's not social media. Those things are just tools to help certain people, because the internet is a great tool for me to self-educate myself. Okay, but that's not a reality. It's how I gain some knowledge and apply it to reality. Apply it to my life. Okay, it's not about sitting on the internet all day long and thinking and refusing to take care of physical responsibilities. That means washing dishes, cleaning your house, mowing your lawn, taking out the trash. Okay, interacting with people. And thankfully, I was in a job where I talked to all walks of life. Okay, I talk to all walks of life. And so I can communicate with all walks of life if I choose to. Okay. And no one, like I said, and when you realize and you become really conscious and awake, everybody's the same fundamentally. And that's why you need to be respectful, loving, caring, and kind to people, no matter what, whether you like them or not. Okay. Whether you support their ideology or their rhetoric. Okay. Call out their rhetoric and their ideology if it's harmful to other people. Okay, like hate. Hate is self-hate. Just like love is self-love. Plain and simple. Okay, you can't say you love you can't be talking about love and then be talking hate. There's so much contradiction in all of that. And it's exposing itself. And the thing is, it's not going to be so much that it's exposing itself to me. It's going to expose itself to the person generating that rhetoric and hate. Because the energy of their thoughts are going to put them exactly where they need to be. And they're going to be in those sort of environments where they're going to have to resolve it or staying in an abyss of recycling that over and over, deja vu, over and over and over again. Okay, you can't have love and then say that you hate people. That's the contradiction. Okay, either you love people or you don't. Okay. And if you hate people, okay, you hate people. That's and that's the reality you're going to keep repeating. Okay. So, so that's one thing about the internet that has been very helpful for me. Yeah, I can pick up contradictions very well. Okay, I can pick up false messages. I can pick up intentional confusion. I can pick up intentional discord. I can pick up intentional rhetoric and divisiveness. And hey, that's fine. But I know what my reality is. My reality is not being always wrapped up in it. I participate, of course, because I enjoy participating and kind of getting in there. But at some point, it's time to get out of that. Somehow we thought virtual reality was reality, and we have these peer, these so-called intellectuals that are at the top of the pyramid, who are vested in the bottom line, vested in control, and are the most dangerous to humanity, which will be discovered in the future, unfortunately, when so many people have lost their lives or lost their possessions or lost this or lost that, because they were following all this garbage. So and enriching these pyramid leaders, and there's not many of them, but as opposed to 10 billion people on the planet, there's not many of them, but they are the one that's controlling everything for anyone that invests their time in social media. Okay, so you have to balance that, and that's what I've learned. I've been, like I said, just a victim of social media, and as everybody else. My accounts have been hacked. They continue to be hacked. Okay, I know my stuff is being monitored. That I won't go back into that again. Certain people will be given certain information based on, like I said, your demographics, your communities, your affiliations, blah 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 blah. People are controlling that. These pyramid owners. But it's up to me to get a grip on reality, and I have. And so thankful to this opportunity to be in this house and have the space I needed to understand what is important and what I need to be focused on and concentrating on, and vice versa. So when I used to have, like I said, those dreams of coming to the end of the road when I was a little girl, all it meant was here, and so I would have certain scenarios of dreams I can remember, and they always like end, and all that was just like some pre-warning. So okay, if you take this is what's going. All I had to do was just take a different path. As an adult, that's what I realized. I just have to take a different path, and I have. Okay, just that's what prophecies are. They give you warnings to say, hey, look. But remember, prophecies only tell you the warnings. That doesn't mean that warning is going to consume, that it covers everything in someone's life. It's just, this is what can happen. This is, these are snapshots of what can happen, because it is snapshots. So and so that's where thinking comes in. You just have to think it out and think it through and make sure it's logical and rational and reasonable. Okay, yes, I understand that. It makes sense. And then when I used to have the dreams about the grocery stores, to me that was equivalent to libraries. And that's how excited I used to be when I used to go into libraries, because I knew it was an opening to expanding of my knowledge. And that's very fascinating and drawing to me. I mean, I had this thing about knowledge, even as a young girl. I want to know, I want to know, I want to know. And I knew that this was an important phase of my life. This was an important phase of my existence. It's about knowledge. It's about knowledge. And that's what the age of Aquarius is about. Okay. So there is something deep within you, a deep core within you that is reminding you of the bigger picture, and doing everything to steer you properly. But it is self-will. And that's where, it's like a choice. Hey, if you go this way, this is what can happen. If you go that way, this is what's going to happen. And as an individual, you have the self-will to choose. So that's what the end of the road means to me. So I know a lot of people want to know what their dreams mean, but you have to figure that out on your own. You have to, you have to put two and two together and say, oh, that's what that meant. That's what that dream meant. Because I used to have dreams. I've told you, I used to have dreams where I was all over the damn galaxy. And they were so vivid. It was so vivid. I can remember having one dream where I was touching the ground, and the sand was so cold. It was cold sand, and it was pure white, but it was cold to the touch. And it felt differently as I walked on the ground, because I was walking through my dreams. Lucid. I used to have lucid dreams. And they were real too, vivid and real dreams. But then when I started asking, the dreams were fantastic as long as I wasn't trying to ask questions. I was trying to ask questions when I would get into those kind of lucid dreams, because that's what the books used to tell me, because I used to read on it too. Going in there trying to get information. No, it was really just an experience I was supposed to have, and just let it flow through. But every now and then I'll have a lucid, but I hadn't had a lucid in a while. I think the last time I had one, I don't care. I don't know when it was. But so I see my life as an adventure. And that's how we all should see it, as an adventure. And not take everything so serious. Not be so uptight. And just carrying on about yourself. That's where we fail so much about ourselves and who we think we are. And what we think we know. No, that's you would think some people would know better. But it's obvious where people are going. I can pick that up now. Some people are just so bent out of who they think they are, and how they can just kind of leapfrog over everybody, and it's all about that. And that's due to a lack of self-confidence and wanting to stand out among people for some reason. And usually people that have low self-esteem, low confidence, self-hatred, will kind of act out in those ways, and they stand out. A lot of people, I sense more people figuring things out more than they will admit, and that's fine. They kind of figuring out, okay, I get it, right? And that's perfect. Just keep it moving is what I'm saying, and watch what happens. Be more observant. See if you can sit on a bench somewhere and pay attention to people. Or one day decide, okay, I'm just gonna be silent if you can. And that's usually if you have a day off and you live by yourself. But if you live with someone, you can say to them, hey, I want to be silent for about 30 minutes, and I'll get back. Just communicate with your partner. Or you can be silent together. It's something, work it out. Do the walk. The all body meditation is the best for me. Like I said, I know it was where I'm sitting, where my feet are. I know the sensation of my toes, the surface I'm on, where I'm sitting, what I'm hearing. That's kind of fun, for me at least. How I'm breathing, what I smell, what I'm tasting, coffee. I just had some coffee. I'm enjoying the moments. I let my imagination go sometimes. I have my fantasies, you know what I mean? So, stay with it. Okay, stay with it. It is worth it. It is worth it. Okay? Do everything every day. Do everything you can to lessen your time on the internet, your time on blah, 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 your time, looking in your phone. Use your phone for something, that's necessary, of course. And see if you can come out of your trance. See if you can go outside more. Pay attention to where you're walking, how the surface feels. what you hear when you're walking. Touch trees if you can. Feel the breeze on your arm. And pick up the energy of what's going on, and enjoy your life and find partners and like-minded people to be a part of that, be a part of your paradise, and because that's my aim, and that's my intention as well, to move forward towards like-mindedness, and not be so concerned about people attempting to describe, because if we shut some of these people down off of social media, I think that's when we can see the truth. But we're just allowing too many people to interfere with that. Constant interference, telling us what love is, but yet spewing hate. Telling us how to live, but yet this person or that person hasn't left their house in 10, 15, 20 years, still in their house in the same position. You know what I mean? Or telling us how to do this and how to do that and blah 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 blah. So I'm going to send peace and love, baby girls and boys. I'm going here and finish with doing what I'm doing some cleaning, getting ready, and enjoy my day. But I'm sending peace and love nonetheless. And trust me, I'll be back.